And we know that on Sunday, the NDC, they will be launching their campaign in Cape Coast in the central region. We would give you great previews, but also great highlights of that very event from Saturday through to Sunday. And today, just this morning, in some few minutes, we'll be having the General Secretary of the NDC, Johnson Siedun Ketia, in the studio, live. General Mosquito with us. We'll be discussing a lot of the things. We'll be comparing their promises from past, present, and what they hope to achieve, if they haven't achieved anything at all.
You have a repellent?
I'm attracted to mosquitoes. Or insects.
I hope you won't be bitten. All right.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Huh?
You remember we talked about
I told a friend of mine, I said, hey.
Oh, but he's a cool man. Yeah, he's a very nice man.
How would you have said he's a cool dude?
Yeah, he's a cool dude. Except that he's not so yo-yo-ish. So
yeah, I know. So no dude's really terminology for him.
Yeah, but he's a nice gentleman.
Former DCE of Shama, you're watching me this morning. A very good morning to you, and thanks for the message.
Smile, Roland. Smile like the world is on your shoulders.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, even Nigeria safe cry.
Charlie, now Wahala no did it. Wahala don't did it.
You know, I think for about 2 years they were the largest economy in Africa.
I think that South Africa
title has been taken away from them.
South Africa is back.
South Africa is back, definitely.
But I think South Africa deserves. I mean, you go to South Africa and you get to see
Niger.
The level of development.
Yeah, but I'm closer to Nigeria than I am to South Africa. So
yeah, we do understand.
I feel for you, but Charlie, Ghana,
you love South Africa than Nigeria.
Well, this week we talked about a youth conference. We tried to encourage. It's not like I tried, but I was part of the conversation. We had Pastor Brian Amwatin here to encourage all the young people to join him at the Physicians and Surgeons, the College of Physicians and Surgeons, to learn, hear from different people, particularly young people, and also get up and do something for yourself. Well, today is the second of that conference, and today Eastwood Anaba, one of my all-time favorite pastors, will be there. So you want to join other Physicians and Surgeons, the College of Physicians and Surgeons. I think there's a morning session that starts at 9, and then there's an evening session, so you can catch up. Well, good morning to all of you who've just tuned in. We're still getting the messages of the gas shortage, and I promise that we will do something about it. We've got answers for you here on the show today, but let's do the newspapers, Roland.
And we have to start with the Daily Graphic. Front page, we have government increases allowance of soldiers on peacekeeping, and the president's pictured there in that very military camouflage, which resulted in a bust on social media, a lot more comments from both pro and anti-NDC group, individuals and groups.
But there's some swag in there. I don't know about the.
I mean, personally, I think he looks nice in the military camp. But that's not for discussion. Extend tenure of presidency to give ample time to governments to implement policies. Former President Kufuor, he started saying this towards the end of his regime.
Extend tenure. Okay, so how many years should we do? 5
I think Nigeria,
years?
they do 5. There's a country in Africa that did 7, and they decided, I think, was it Senegal or Mali?
To cut it down again.
And then the president came back, is it Macky Sall or something, came back and said that I'm reverting it back to the status quo. I think to give, let's say, the culture we've had since 1992 of having, giving 2 terms each.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll get to know whether there'll be additional 2 terms for the NDs, or that'll be a 3rd term, so to speak. But if there should end, that'll be 2 terms for a party. Supposing we have a party in power for 10 years, I mean, that's a whole decade.
Yeah.
If you were 20 when the government was in power, by the time the government leaves office, you would have been 30.
I mean, listen, I would have.
No, I mean, who does that?
No, but see, if they were actively doing something in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th year, then I guess everybody would go for this move. Let's give them 5, 6 years so that they can complete something. But the point is, do we actively see them do something on the ground within the 1st, 2nd, 3rd years?
But
do we?
I think it's because there's the absence of continuity. And the parties, because their programs are not around the national strategy. So when they come in, they tend to now come and re-strategize.
Yeah.
But if we had a national strategy, I bet you, Mama V also Abuaje, we needn't have a 5-year term or a 6-year term for a party that is in power. There's no point.
Agree.
Because if, let's say, the NDC is building or expanding the Kotoka International Airport and want to expand it till it gets to Elwak, and we know that they've done up to Aviance, if the MPP comes, just continue from Aviance to Elwak. And if they want to extend it to 37, fine. I mean, that's their business.
You know the problem?
But because
somebody must commission it.
No, but the parties seem to be disagreeing on a lot more of issues. I'm not saying we're not political.
If you continue, it means you would commission it. But the whole idea is if you started it, you've got to commission it.
So somebody starts something, and the person, and if you start something and you come and continue, they'll say, we started it, so it's our program.
Yeah, but
if it's a national program, it's a national program. But at the end of the day, because we need money to complete.
When you visit the place, it's not your name that is on that little plaque. It means a lot, man. Get real. No. This is Ghana.
Taliban in the United States, they don't do those things. For example,
do the papers.
US.
Have you been a president before?
Who say US?
Have you been a president before? Have you?
Democrats.
No. People will not agree with you because of what Donald Trump has recently started doing. So please do the daily graphic.
We also have the main story: address basic education problems to deal with poor WASSCE results. Teacher unions. And then Arianso Omahine calls for extension of SHS duration to 4 years. I just can't understand our politics.
You can't think fire.
I can't think madness.
Welcome to Ghana, man. No. Get used to it.
It's an African thing.
Weekend finder. We. If you can't think fire, listen to this one. We. Alcohol is a new craze for girls, apparently. Yeah.
You know that? Do you know what how the Nigerians call it? Ogbo.
Ah.
Ogbo.
So you see a girl on the front page of the Finder, and she's doing it. Yeah.
In Tampis.
Modern treatment procedure for liver cancer patients. That story on page 9. And these are the two. But let me just read a bit of this story on page 2 on the alcohol new craze for girls. It says that a serious health and critical disaster lurks to hit raw nerves of the Ghanaian society if no pragmatic steps are taken to curb the increasing rate of alcoholism and use of marijuana among the youth in the country. An ongoing observation being conducted in 18 districts in the Bonohaf region indicates an alarming rate at which the youth, especially girls, are getting hooked on to the use of marijuana and excessive alcohol intake. There's a lot of details, and this, if you want to box it up with the issue that we're treating today, to think that you have a 15-year-old who can tell you that I'm in love with a 45-year-old, then you know that we're heading somewhere. Is it the lack of good parenting, or is just these girls who have not found themselves? I mean, like, they simply have decided that this is what I want to do, or this is what is good. Like, I don't get it. But something is not right somewhere.
I think society is just evolving, and that's how it is.
Wow.
That's what I think. Because now, a child that is 10 years, and the IQ level of that child is not the same like a child 10 years ago. That's of that same age. I mean,
well, our colleague who will also be joining us, Noreen, from Kumasi, has come through with this very disturbing story, but we'll hear some of the young girls tell their stories themselves. For somebody who's 15 to say that, Charlie Roland, how old are you? Just say if you're 45, like, Roland is my boyfriend and I love him. Seriously? If you're a parent and you had your little child say that to you, what would you do? And to the extent that some of these grown men even lift the young girls who could be their own children, to school and take them to places, like, and they tell them that they love them. And hey, Charlie,
that's a mother talking. That's my broadcaster talking.
If I get you.
Daily Guide. Soldiers bombard Mahama at Burma camp. NDC steals MPP slogan, "You are not good," AG tells judges. And then center spread, I always do it. Let me do it. News 1. Kofi Sapon prays for peace. And Emanuela, I never heard of this lady until I heard she was in town.
Yeah, and she's been everywhere. Apparently, she's she's
and
such
so
a
I had to go
sensation.
check her on YouTube. And she does funny stuff, apparently. There was some production she was in. That seemed...
So is this child labor?
No.
She making money out of what she does?
I think so.
Okay, so, but it's not child labor.
Nigeria, I think they...
But it's not child labor.
No, it's not.
Because she's a child, you know that?
No, but we have children who are stars in the US, etc. Dasabre Dramina family says today, and prophetic singer drops single. And she's always smiling.
Was that the prophetic singer?
No.
The little girl.
Yeah, Emanuela.
Yeah, I mean, she's into showbiz. She understands it. They say when you're in showbiz, you've got to smile.
The thing about the showbiz children is that they don't grow up to, if you look at the trend, only few of them tend to get the right postures because sometimes I think the fame enters into their heads.
It's not them. They are still children.
Yeah.
There has to still be a parent. See? Let's do the Ghanaian Times. 4-year presidential term, not enough. Roland, you've done this, right?
No.
Okay. So this same story.
I've done it on other newspapers.
So 4-year presidential term not enough, according to former President Kufuor. Klokzak backs down on demands. Will go back to work after issuing MOU. Oh, Charlie, these people, when they go on strike, it's, I don't know. Like, I'm tired of the strike stories because you go into it, what they are looking for, they have not received it, but they'll go back to work and they'll come back again. They'll come back again, you see. Government increases allowances for Ghanaian troops on peacekeeping. Some good news.
But do you know how much per day?
I don't know, but even if it's a little increase.
Yeah, the increase is $1.
$1 is how much? $1 is almost times 4.
Daily.
Where's the story?
Daily.
It was part of the things that the president said, right?
Yes.
Okay. So they said announced an increase of $1 per day in the peacekeeping allowance for Ghanaian troops on peacekeeping operations across the world, but I'm thinking $1 a day. It increases the current United Nations peacekeeping allowance of $30 a day to $31 a day. Is that significant? $30 a day.
If you go
30 is what?
If you go stay for a place for 9 months.
Yeah. 30.
If you go stay for a place for 9 months, we have at least, let's say averagely, you have 30 days. That's $30 times 9. That's what.
So this is like 100 Ghana cedis a day, is that it?
No, a day. No, it's 3 cities or 4 cities, 3.8.
No.
In addition to what they get.
This $31.
You mean what they get?
Yes. As in, bring it down to Ghana. Is what, like 100 Ghana cedis a day? Per month?
No, per day.
No, this is per day.
That's what they are marked. Day. Yeah, so they get $31. In addition to all that, they'll get $31 a day now. It used to be 30, now it's 31.
But do they get their salaries?
Yes,
their normal. Okay, so this is just an allowance. This is extra.
I'm call peacekeeping in my head. That's what they are big, Papa.
All right, that's it for the graphic. The Ghanaian Times. All right. We've got to run.
No.
Dispatch?
We have the last one.
Okay.
Let's look at it. Daily Dispatch. CDD on issues for elections. And the CDD report still gaining a lot more momentum and prominence in the newspaper. And Michael's newspaper is the Beneficence Daily Dispatch. Factually reliable, reliably factual. Says roads, arrogance, doomsday, and insults. Mahama's government not the worst. According to MPP's Kofi Kunedu Apreko, and he was speaking on the program on an Accra-based radio station. And there'll be a celebration of life. Let me do this. Beneficent's dad passed on.
Oh, that's his dad?
Yes. And there'll be wake, 2nd of September at the Accra Red Church at 8 a.m. He was 85
He was 85. That's a life well lived.
Yeah, Uncle Otto.
Okay, so Roland, this one I guess is to you from Abdul Rahman Latif Amalaba from Bolga. Says, good morning, Roland Mama V. Thank you. You like the outfit. But he says that he's noticed that we used to play Muslim songs on Fridays, but I used to
advocate that.
Yes, he used to. That's why I said this message is for you. So
it's not necessarily Muslim songs. We used to play a lot of Arabic songs, but I think that we'll convince our producers that we'll bring it back. Fridays, yes. What's his name? Latif, eh? Yeah, we used to play a lot of Amir Dia.
Amalba from Bolga.
Samir Nazi.
Okay, so this one says, Mama, you should understand that most of the things that the young girls do is all because of money. Some of them, their parents cannot provide their needs, therefore they resort to these men for goodies. Is any reason like this reasonable? I'm just thinking. But when we get to the point where we discuss this issue, we'll share all the opinions and the views that come across. When utility tariffs are high, companies laying out their workers due to doom so port duties are high. Government officials misappropriating funds. Ghana needs a leader who is law-abiding and can enforce sanctions. From Nana Kwame Osco in Obuasi saying that WhatsApp message. Let's do online. Ronan, are you ready?
Yes, we're ready to look at the online stories. We are unshaken. CDD Paris attacks on Manam.
No, supposed to be Mahama administration.
Ah, okay. Mahama administration survey. They didn't see well. It says a senior researcher at the Center for Democratic Development Ghana says attacks on his outfit's recent survey that shows the majority of Ghanaians are unhappy with the current administration. Unfortunate. No, I think so too. Shall I leave the think tank to do their work? Mama V.
You may be next to God, but you are not God's. AG reminds new judges. Get it into your head. Okay, let's move on. South Africa regains Africa's biggest economy title from Nigeria. Goodbye.
I mean, it was like it was as if you know when Nigeria held that title or that very accolade for 2 years. It was rebasing of their economy over $500 billion US. But you go through Nigeria, you go through South Africa. You can say, South Africa should be the because we do South Africa and. I'm sure YouTube. Maybe YouTube. YouTube.
All right, let's move on. NPP dismisses attack on CDD survey. Findings expose NDC propaganda. You can click on that story and read the details.
The political parties, they are funny. When it's their turn, when it's for them, yeah. Can you imagine if the NPP was in power and CDD did something against them? That would be wahala.
ASAP Lord's passage of petroleum bill faults absence of penalty for conflict of interests. KFC told to stop using chicken treated with antibiotics. So the one they sell in Ghana too, are they treated with antibiotics?
I think it was chicken. Most chicken around the world because they are injected so that they don't get infected. They fight off disease. Otherwise, you know, one gets infected and it affects the lot.
I love the chicken though. Antibiotics or not.
Actually, but KFC I do. I said, more nuggets be on. Nuggets.
I haven't tried.
You should try.
Hajj committee issues ultimatum to agents, pilgrims. You might want to read this. It says that the Hajj committee has issued an ultimatum to accredited Hajj agents to submit documents of pilgrims to the Pilgrims Affairs Office of Ghana by Friday, August 22. If you're planning on going to Mecca this year, please read the full details of this. You know, it might concern you somehow.
Yeah.
City FM Online, Roland?
And we have Mama Hazer Jova Nanado in December. Some NHIS voters might still be on register, and Collins Dowder's tribal comments illogical. Nanado on the campaign trail, and MPP has never liked Zongo communities. Again, Collins Dowder.
We are in the election year proper. The election season is on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do
and then we have Ministry wants lazy cocoa road contractors and other stories. Terry Sakra to facilitate webinar series starting August 18.
All right. This one says Rolly and Mama V.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody calls me Rolly, my dad. And a very good friend of mine.
in Yinasi in the Western region. You sent us a very good message. We appreciate it. Thank you very much for being there always as well. This one says, hey, President Mahama, always doing new things, but it's not necessary. He should make things happen from Kwabena
How do they say that in Twi?
In a Doom Kumasi.
How do they say? the thing you read. Always doing new things, but that's not necessary. You know that what they say it in trade. I can't think far. I can't. And none of it.
But he hasn't said anything. All he did was to just dress up and go for an event. That's all.
I think he looked good.
The Most Reverend Professor Asante said, quote, "People make mistakes for lack of information. Parents must get time for their children." Reverend Abedu Nicholas, AME Zion Church in Wasadaman, sending that message. That's in connection with the conversation that we're having today about these young children. And I think to a very large extent, also in the weekend, find out about young girls, the new craze, which is smoking. And I don't know, when you smoke, then it makes you what?
I think it's just a wrong vice that they picked up, yes. And,
like you are high.
Just like any vice, you get addicted. And addiction is bad.
Yeah.
We have on the BBC page, Nigeria reports new polio cases. And according to the latest from the BBC, 2 cases have been reported. That's has given an indication of an alarm. And so they said they may have not undertaken their surveillance right. But we also know that Northern Nigeria has had difficulties with trying to do the immunization adequately. The concern is that because of that geographical position it has, it could spread to other countries. And it means it could spread nothing Ghana, nothing Burkina, you know, that kind of thing.
For me as an African, it's a shame that this is 2016 and we're talking polio when we know that we've done huge campaigns. Remember Kick Polio Out of Africa? And to think that this is coming back, I mean, it worries me a lot. It means that even we as Africans in our own backyards, there are little things that we have not been able to do. We talk malaria today. I mean, we talk cholera, like seriously, and we're talking polio in this era. All right, enough of us. You can log on to any of the stories. Go to the newsstands. We encourage you, buy the newspaper so the print houses can also get enough money to be, you know, doing the papers every day. And then go to the websites and read the rest of the stories. Stay with us. More of your messages. We acknowledge receipts. We'll come back and share a lot more with you. But right now, we've got to rise.
So we're taking a break. When we come up, Benedict Owusu will be here to tell us the latest. We know for this very weekend, the English Premier League is starting off. We always do, you know, until almost do it first. You're mine. England, I'm on mine.
What's happening in Ghana? We've got some heartbreaking stories to share with you as well.
Yeah.
No, we don't. Stay with us.
We do. People are not doing well at the Olympics. Always last.
How many people do we have anyway?
Anyway, we're taking a break. You know what?